afternoon at cemeteries like this one across the nation. At noon, we'll be kicking off our ceremony. To begin with, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. If you've been in the military or a veteran, you can salute the flag. If not, you just place your right hand over your heart. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now have Boy Scout Troop 149 post the colors. We'll now have Ivan Petkus lead us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, I'd like to have 1 minute of silence for those people who served, made the ultimate sacrifice, beginning now. Thank you. We'll have Nicole Yonkman, the First Church of Windsor, lead us in invocation. Nicole?
Thanks so much. So before I do my invocation, I just wanted to share a little story, which is that the Wreaths Across America program was started in a small town in Harrington, Maine, which just so happens to be the town where I am from. It is a town of 600 people. My dad was born and raised there. I spent some of my growing up years there. And in his class of 7 people, 6 of them enlisted in the military. It's really an important part of that area, and so it comes as no surprise that they started this program. And today, when the trucks leave the factory with the wreaths, people line up along the route in all these tiny little small towns because they're so proud of this program. and they clap and they honk their horns, and each town will lead the procession with the volunteer firefighters and the police and the ambulance. So there's a lot of pride that goes with this. So it's an amazing thing to see that this has turned into such a huge tradition all across the country. And I just want to say thank you all for being here. And it means a lot to the people where this came from. So please join me in the spirit of prayer for the invocation. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to assemble together on this sacred ground and in this dedicated place. And we ask you to help us accomplish 3 things in this hour and all throughout the year as defined by Wreaths across America. First, we want to remember the fallen. Second, we want to honor those that serve and their families. And finally, by our example today and every day, to teach our young as well as our communities the value and price of freedom and sacrifice, while we also bear in mind that in our heart our unique history. In the process of this, help us to embrace what it truly means to be children of God, what the blessings are as well as the responsibilities. God, we join together in spirit with others who are participating in Wreaths Across America Day at Arlington National Cemetery and at veteran cemeteries and at other locations in all 50 states, in ceremonies at sea and in ceremonies on foreign soil. And so we ask your blessing on us all at every location where these events are being held. We ask for mercy and comfort for the family of those who have known loss and sacrifice, because when the soldier serves, the family serves. Help us to hear their hearts and share in their joys and sorrows and continue with them in friendship and care. Grant them your peace. Lead us and guide us, O God. Give us deep and abiding love for you. Help us to remember, in the words of Jesus, no love is greater than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Let us be a beacon of light extending across the world with a message of hope and liberty as we, the citizens, learn to live and be worthy of the gift of sacrifice. And finally, help us to grow in love for one another, in patience and endurance. God, be with us as we move forward to fulfill your will today as your people, as a diverse and beautiful American people, people of different faiths and backgrounds, a nation of immigrants from a long time ago all the way up to today. Bless us this day and every day with all our soul, with all our heart, and with all our strength. May God watch over us and keep us accountable to these prayers. Amen.
My name's Lisa Carmen. I am here on behalf of John Carmen. You'll notice he's in the program. Unfortunately, unfortunately for me, he's serving a family today, and that's what we do at Carmen Funeral Home. So he cannot make it. So I'm gonna kind of stand in his place. But we want to thank you all for coming out and honoring the veterans that we have here at the cemetery. The veterans that are here. Thank you very, very much for your service. And I'd just like to say a few words. So we're gathered here at this memorial site and memorial sites around America to remember that we are one nation and one flag. We are proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of people, many races, from many occupations. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price. Lying here before us and in cemeteries throughout the nation are men and women who have given their lives so that we can live in freedom and without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children to believe as we do. We can travel from one end of this great nation to others and not have to ask permission about where we're going. We are free to vote for whomever we feel should be in government office, and we answer to no one but our own feelings. We have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavors we wish to pursue. Today, many of you here are veterans of war and conflict. that America has fought to protect the innocent and the oppressed. America has always been the first nation to stand up for freedom of people around the world. Many of you here today have answered that call and have served your country well. We are here today to say thank you, and we are honored to know you. There are many men and women serving today in the branches of the military, here at home, and in places far away that most of us have never heard of. These men and women are part of the best trained, best well-equipped forces in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifices that they make each day to keep our country safe. When you see a veteran or an active duty member of the armed service, take a moment to say thank you. We owe them our way of life, and a moment of your time is well spent. Today we show a united front and national unity all across the United States of America as we remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and to teach our children the value of freedom. Thank you.
I guess good afternoon. I have bad news. They fixed the microphone before I took it over, so my apologies for that. But sincerely, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I think this is one of the biggest crowds that this event has gotten in many, many years. I want to absolutely thank all of the volunteers that make this happen, and there's so many that do so much for these events. The Boy Scouts, American Legion, and of course the Carmen family funeral homes for what they continue to do every year. As I was sitting here in the rain, I was thinking, wow, this is kind of miserable. But then I thought, for so many of these veterans, where they served, that a half hour of us standing in the rain really is not that bad. From extreme heat from Southeast Asia to the desert to extreme frigid cold in battlefields in Europe, I think we can honor them by hanging out in the rain for a few minutes. So I just want to leave you with, as Lisa said, if you see a veteran, thank them. If you know of anybody that's out there that needs any services, please put them in touch with the appropriate people. But most importantly, let's keep in our minds and our hearts all of the service people that are all over the world serving us every day. Thank you all for coming out.
We will now do the ceremonial wreath laying. Now we'll lay a holiday wreath in memory of those who served in the United States Army. We will now lay a wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Navy. We will now lay a wreath in memory of those who have served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. We will now lay a wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Air Force. We will now lay a wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Coast Guard. We will now lay a holiday wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. We will now lay a wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in our space forces. Now we will lay a wreath in honor of the 93,129 United States servicemen from all branches of the service whose last known status was either prisoners of war or missing in action. These individuals have never returned to their families and homes. We shall never forget you. Thank you, Fred. The wreaths before you represent our commitment as United States to remember the fallen. We also want these wreaths to symbolize our honor to those who have served and are serving in our armed forces of our great nation and to their families who endured sacrifices every day on our behalf. To our children, we want you to understand the freedoms you enjoy today have not been free, but have come with a cost that someday you may have to pay yourself. As a nation standing together, we can defeat terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Thanks to our veterans, we have the freedom to do just that. At this time, we encourage you to call out a loved one to remember at the Windsor Veterans Memorial Cemetery. And today I'm going to call out my grandfather and my grandmother, Major Frank W. Carmen Jr. and his wife, Nancy Carmen.
Al Kansas.
Mark Tustin.
James Avery. Jackie G. and Frito.
George McKinney.
Tamise Mason.
Marvin E. Jones. Paul Cassarino.
Red Johnson.
Jim Daigle.
Pat Ferencia. Brutus Collette.
Commander Reagan. Milo W. Peck. Eleanor Peck. Amos Brooks Jr. Amos Brooks Sr.
Charles King. Jack Garvin. Charles Gamer. Herbert James Duke.
Dominic Dalbowitz.
John Bonetta Sr. Charles Yuskovich.
Edwin Warren. Alexander Lehad.
George Cabalas.
Nicholas Jacchio Sr. Bill Caesars.
William Best.
George Duda.
Walter Heber. David Curley. Glenn Ingram. Ernest Mooney. John Meekin Sr. Ed Lyle.
Jim DiCarlo.
We'll now have Nicole Yonkman lead us in benediction. Nicole?
Dear friends, hear this benediction. Be of good courage. Hold fast to all that is good. Render to no one evil for evil, but instead strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, and help the afflicted. And now may the love of God be with you now, and until we meet again, amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Color guard. Retire the colors.
At this time, if you ordered a wreath or you have a specific grave you would like to place a wreath at, we have wreaths over here, and they're also in front of each of the sections. Please feel free now to go and lay a wreath on a loved one, a friend, or someone you know here at the cemetery. Please go ahead and do that now. Thank you. If you're here volunteering to help us out with the other wreaths, please come on up and see me.
John Carmen, and I happen to be chairman of the Veterans Memorial Cemetery.
There are literally dozens. I don't know for sure. I know that there's
a celebration, obviously, at the State Veterans Cemetery. There's also one in Simsbury, at Simsbury Cemetery. They're here. They're all over. I'm only familiar with ours, which my niece has organized and gotten hundreds of wreaths that have been donated and people have donated. And it's just a wonderful effort to, again, show that support for veterans.
Who donates the wreaths?
Individual people, family members, organizations, groups. Our family donates some, then other organizations, businesses do. So it's a wide effort, and because it touches the hearts of so many people to be able to say thank you to veterans, and especially to have for some of the veterans that have no one else to lay a wreath for them here. And so that's special too.
So here's to you and all you do. Let's raise a glass to all that's past and to the future. Long may it last. Oh, let it last. And may the light shine on you, and trust your hopes to see you through. Forever after, let it be true.